the nefarious attempt to revive the strife of the 1980s. The Golden Temple this time is on the ISI's radar, and can Bharat afford another siege is the question around this entire narrative. The fresh blueprint by Pakistan's inter-services intelligence, accessed by CNN News 18, aims to destabilize Punjab using Golden Temple as the symbol, shield, and also target by means of a hybrid warfare model that mixes terrorism, psychological operations, digital propaganda, and religious manipulation. Intelligence agencies have confirmed that the ISI is reviving tactics reminiscent of the 80s insurgency period, this time with advanced tools and global collaboration to trigger unrest centered around the Golden Temple or the Harmandir Sahib. The core of this new operational blueprint is the tactical and symbolic exploitation of the Golden Temple. Intelligence inputs accessed reveal a renewed push to use this sacred site as both a shield and a trigger. The recent bomb threat, email received by the Shiromani Gurdwara Prabandhak Committee or the SGPC referencing RDX, points to coordinated efforts by ISI-backed groups to provoke mass outrage through calculated targeting of religious sensitivities. The Golden Temple's sanctity makes it difficult to fully police, thereby creating security blind spots that the ISI intends to exploit for arms dumps, propaganda filming, and also sheltering operatives. Now, officials are warning that any miscalculated action near the shrine could lead to a nationwide standoff comparable to the events of 1984. The convergence of religious emotion, political symbolism, and lack of surveillance provides ISI with a potent recipe for unrest. Let's go across to our guests straight away and try and understand with them this dynamic and how it can be countered and the various layers. Lieutenant General D.P. Pandey, former GOC 15 Corps of the Indian Army, should be joining us any moment now. Sardar R.P. Singh, National Spokesperson of the BJP, should join us. Anmol Power, Spokesperson, Aam Aadmi Party, should also be joining us. But first, let's go across to Ramneek Singh Mann, activist. Ramneek, namaste, Jai Hind. We'll wait as the other guests also join us. But this is not just psychological. There are concerns that even certain rank and file of the SGPC may have been infiltrated.
Sat Shri Akal, Namaste, Jai Hind. Good evening, Anand, and to all your viewers. Now, see, the plot is very clear, and this has been in vogue for a while now, the K2. So, K1 being Kashmir, which General D.P. Pandey Sahab here on the screen, good evening, sir, is very well aware of. And the K2 plan, that is the Khalistan, this module has been reactivated by Pakistan ever since the Kartarpur Sahib corridor was opened. And it is a calculated move by the adversary. It is calculated by him very clearly to, one, bring a sense of unease, a sense of misinformation, a sense of insecurity amongst the people at large. But also it's majorly a part of information warfare being unleashed on India. And honestly, post-Op Sindoor, I understand, and I hope we've realized that while we are very good at tackling the adversary in the battlefield, we're not that good in the information warfare field. So misinformation is something that he's going to play on, and that is something, I feel that the Pakistanis have an edge over us.
Right.
That is one. And well, when you say parts of SGPC, I completely agree with you. Otherwise, how could you explain, heroing several terrorists over the years, idolizing terrorists, raising their portraits in a museum inside the Darbar Sahib corridor? So, this has been the case over the years, and money plays a major role. SGPC, parts of SGPC or employees of SGPC more so, if I may be very, very specific, Anand, then the Rampracharaks, the religious preachers. The Rampracharaks by and large have been influenced and roped in by the SGPC and by the Pakistan ISI. And these people, when they travel abroad, are very well funded by the adversary. And this is what is now being played out over the last 20 years since the adversary could not, bring us down on our knees. So they're trying to destabilize us, destabilize Punjab once again, and repeat the 1980s episode in Punjab, which I feel he's going to suffer massively again. He's going to fail again. But we have to be vigilant. We have to be careful.
Right. General Pandey, namaste, sir.
Namaste, and very so nice to have Singh Saab with me on the panel today. Possibly he's one of the most articulate and straightforward. He fires from his hip and is never shy of speaking the truth, come whatever the challenge may be. I will just quickly hark back a little bit to, let's say, about 1947, post-colonization demolition. You know, what has happened is that the white world, the Western world wanted to keep a tab and keep people under scrutiny and keep pressure points all over the world. And that has become, in each part of the world, if you go, maybe anywhere, you will find that there were always pressure points created in which they had used the democracy as a system in which they wanted to talk of freedom of speech, minority rights. They created situation as they wanted, and based on if the country behaved, the state of the or the leadership of the country behaved as per their requirements and norms, these pressure points were released, or thereafter, in case they didn't behave, it was applied. Right? So this was being carried out. We provided them opportunities, right? The political bunglings which we carried out in 60s and thereafter in 80s have really given them opportunity, especially to the deep state. I feel that Pakistan is only a proxy. Time and again, I think I've spoken on your this thing. The levers lie somewhere else, right? But yes, they are the spoil sport. They are the people who are functioning on the ground, and they have got the connect all over the country in terms of money, drugs, and power. So this whole K2 thing, when it was rolled out, I always felt that out of the K2, the most dangerous element will be the Khalistan angle, because this is the region which is the most hardworking, sincere, totally enmeshed in the entire society of our country. There is hardly any difference between, except for possibly wearing a turban and at times going to different type of temple within the region of Punjab, between the Punjabi community, which is non-Sikh and Sikh. So the moment this fissure and the fault line will come about, this will become a very difficult thing to manage. So you look at what he has just said, that the information warfare campaign of the Pakistanis have been so fantastic that nowhere anybody who's talking of Khalistan or such a movement is saying that Lahore was the capital of the Sikh Empire under Maharaja Ranjit Singh, right? Nobody's talking of Punjab. Name came out of 5 daryas, right? Of which the 2 major one, which gets the maximum amount of water, they actually flow in the Pak Punjab. And Pakistan Punjab, oh by the way, is 4 times bigger than the Punjab which we have got. It is actually the Punjab we have got is the smallest portion, and when it came to us, possibly it is the most economically poorest section of the entire Punjab area. If you look at South Pak Punjab, that is where Saraiki and the desert area of Punjab is. That is one of the more poorer area, but actually the most culturally rich, economically powerhouse was currently is today in Pakistan Punjab.
In Pakistan,
right? Nobody's talking of it. Yeah, in Pakistan. And a lot of hard work has gone of the Sikh and non-Sikh community to bring about Punjab what it is today. If you go back to 60s, 70s, the economic poverty which was there was immense. And this whole agriculture movement, the Green Revolution movement, the number of canals which came about, and today that Ludhiana powerhouse and industrialization and agricultural thing which came about was outstanding actually. And everything got fractured in 80s, right?
Correct.
Thanks to KPS Gill, thanks to the brave Punjab police people and larger Sikh community which fought back this insurgency and won that insurgency for the country. So this IW narrative and the squeamishness of the Indian people, Indian state, to say that we aren't going to do the same to the country which is prosecuting a 0.5 or rather one front war against us is actually going to cost us in the long run.
Well, let's
right?
hope.
So this squeamishness should go away.
Right. Yeah, and the other thing that Ramnik Man often says is that we got to dealing these Khalistanis and these goons with Sikhi. That it is unfair to say read them together. The other thing is, like you talked about Maharaja Ranjit Singh, what were the symbols of his flag? And that itself shows that the Hindu way of life or Hindutva is core part of Sikhi itself, and Sikhi evolved out of Hindutva. So these are things which narrative resetting, narrative correction.
I will not get into the religious. I'm sorry. I will not get into the religious part. I will just talk of nothing in Sikhi talks about consuming drugs, goons. The way that today the prosecution of the religion is coming about. Right.
No, that is true. And when you try and put gun-toting terrorists and people inside, and you ask younger generations to come there and revert to them or defer to them, it's unfair. It's unfair to Sikhi. It's unfair to the way of life of the Sikhs and what their core agenda. But that's exactly what's happening abroad. That's exactly what's happening in a lot of gurdwaras, private gurdwaras, otherwise in UK, in Australia, in America, in Canada. And this is all the population from Punjab which is moving out. They are leaving Punjab and going, and that's a concern. When they leave Punjab and go, when they are leaving Punjab and going with a certain sense of disenfranchisement, that they don't have any scope here and there is better life lies elsewhere, and there they are forced to succumb to certain whims and fancies of certain people just because they want to go there and settle themselves there or establish themselves there. It's a problem. Now, meanwhile, Sardar RP Singh is with us. Anmol Panwar of the Aam Aadmi Party is also with us. Thank you. Namaste. I just want to bring in another aspect before we open it up to our other panelists also. The ISI is running a full spectrum psychological war from fake bomb threats like those targeting Air India in 2024 to digitally manipulated martyr videos invoking nostalgia and trauma of past violence. Now, agencies have confirmed that the strategic use of AI-generated deepfakes, inflammatory Gurdwara sermons, graffiti campaigns, and calls for referendums, creating a virtual ecosystem of dissent and chaos. Social media platforms, encrypted messaging apps such as the Threema and Element, and diaspora-driven campaigns are being weaponized to incite separatist sentiment. Unofficial K referendums have been inflated with false participation. Claims of 127,000 in San Francisco, 55,000 in Calgary and 37,000 in New Zealand used not only for propaganda but also as fundraising tools through NGO fronts. Pakistan's strategy leans heavily on the deepening nexus between gangsters and Khalistani terror outfits. Operatives like Goldi Barar have claimed responsibility for killings in Russia and California, showcasing a chilling international reach. The assassination attempt on Shiromani Akali Dal Sukhbir Badal and near the Golden Temple by Chaura, a Pakistan-trained Babbar Khalsa terrorist, is another example of targeted violence backed by decades-old terror linkages. Now, drone incursions continue to be a critical conduit for cross-border smuggling. In 2024 alone, Punjab recorded 286 such instances involving AK rifles, heroin, IEDs, and even satellite phones. Border districts like Taran Taran and Firozpur have emerged as key nodes for these operations. Let's just bring in our Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson and the BJP also. Everybody has a stake in Punjab because it's an integral part of Bharat, the AAP especially because they're in government there. Anmol Panwar, is the government wise to these threats, these causes? In the past, rightly or wrongly, as part of the political accusations, the AAP has been linked with these kind of Khalistani elements stoking the fire. How do you want to respond to this current assessment of what lies ahead for us? Possibly.
Good evening, Anandji. Anandji, we know that Pakistan is a terrorist state and spreading terror is its only mission. But our armed forces have always crushed their evil intentions. In Operation Sindoor, we saw that we delivered a blow they will never forget. And just as Pakistan tries to destabilize India through terror, the BJP is doing the same from within by constantly stoking Hindu-Muslim hatred and creating communal unrest for political gain. Secondly, if a foreign agency, if any institution like ISI is creating disturbance here, so who holds the primary responsibility? the central government does, the responsibility lies with the Home Ministry. And the real fear is not Pakistan. The real danger lies within. It's the BJP leaders who sympathize with the terrorists. These BJP leaders provide shelters to hardened criminals who are lodged in Gujarat jail. When the Punjab police takes down gangsters, the BJP leaders openly express their sympathy for them. For BJP leaders like Manjinder Sirsa and Bittu, these separatist elements are hero. And one after another, BJP officers, BJP office bearers, they are being caught with direct links to Pakistan's terror machinery. You might recall Dhruv Saxena, BJP's IT cell member from Madhya Pradesh. He was caught by anti-terror squad in 2017 for passing sensitive information to Pakistan. Mohammad Sohail, a BJP minority Morcha leader from Telangana, arrested in 2020 for allegedly working with the ISI operatives. Taliban Hussain Shah, the former IT and social media in charge of Jammu and Kashmir, turned out to be a Lashkar-e-Toiba terrorist, and yet they shamelessly accuse others of allowing Khalistani elements to rise under their regime. They should look in the mirror first. The Punjab government has broken the back of Khalistani elements, but it's the BJP that the country needs to stay alert about. And listen to what Amit Shah ji said 2023 में. हो सकता है हमारी बात का विश्वास न करें, but you must listen to this 20-second video.
नहीं देख रहे हैं खालिस्तान की. अमृतपाल सिंह इतने दिन से ऐसा है भाई, कोई लहर बहर नहीं है. कई बार कुछ लोग प्रयास करते हैं, सरकार अपना काम करती है. पंजाब सरकार ने अच्छा काम किया, भारत सरकार ने समर्थन.
अमित शाह जी saying कि पंजाब सरकार ने अच्छा काम किया है, कोई लहर बहर नहीं है, खालिस्तान को खत्म कर दिया है आम आदमी पार्टी सरकार ने. ये तो गृह मंत्री कह रहे हैं, लेकिन ये फिर भी विश्वास नहीं करते. एंड पंजाब रैंक सेकंड in terms of law and order. Now tell me one unsolved case. We have busted all terror modules within 24 to 48 hours. लेकिन इन्हीं के लोग ISI से मिले हुए हैं. लश्कर-ए-तौयबा के टेररिस्ट हैं. आतंकवादियों के साथ इनकी साथ. मनजिंदर सिंह सिरसा कहते हैं कि मां के पुत्र मर गए. जिन्होंने पंजाब में व्यापारी को मारा, उनके साथ ये सिंपैथाइज करते हैं.
Okay. Now let Sardar RP Singh respond. Yes.
Anand, I never thought this would be a political debate of Hutu Meme between the political parties. I thought this debate should be about the broader issue of how to deal with the Pakistan and how to deal with the K2 game plan. That was the subject. That was the objective of your debate today.
But we've got all the stakeholders involved. An activist who's been fighting, a soldier who's always fighting, two political parties who are stakeholders in Punjab and across Bharat.
Yeah.
So, well, everybody has to shoulder the responsibility, just like everybody else. Everybody has to shoulder the blame, sir.
So, the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson right now said that Amit Shah ji appreciated and praised the Punjab government for cooperating for Amritpal to be arrested. He just now said. So it was that it happened in the coordination and cooperation with the center. It happened with the cooperation and coordination with the center. He's admitting that. So the center is not. It's not the center is trying to push the state out and then not taking them in confidence for every movement against the Khalistan. But even then, problem is, you remember Pannu, who openly came and said that yes, we paid some huge, humongous amount to Punjab Aam Aadmi Party to win election and to win election. He's on record. And also, not only that, Kultar Singh Sandwan, the speaker of the Punjab Assembly, went to Canada and dined and wined with Harjit Singh, Harjit Singh Bajwa as a Khalistani open supporter, who's a Khalistani supporter. I'm saying so not because that is something versus, but there's something which I have to relate to. Mr. Raghav Chadha, when he has gone for his operation abroad for his eyes, only picture he posted on his social media was Preet Kaur Gill. Preet Kaur Gill who supports Khalistan. The problem is that the government is functioning because there is a control, there is a system in the government. There are bureaucrats, there are other administrative norms which work as per the government goals. But what is the political intention? Political intention is that there's a payback time. I mean, we won because of their support, and let's pay it back to them in some form or other. But imagine a speaker of the assembly goes and dine and then is being welcomed by Harjit Singh Bajwa. Stamped. No one, I mean, you dig into Harjit Singh Bajwa, you will come to know about everything. But that's not the issue. The issue is now they are saying that how the Punjab government is managed. The police stations are being attacked. What they say, oh, tire puncture, tire फट गया, cylinder फट गया, although this big attack, that RPG attack on the intelligence office of the Mohali. So somehow, somewhere, there's little soft corner, but yes, center is keeping an eye, and wherever required, they will tighten the knobs, and we will not allow this ISI agenda to succeed. And one thing which I have to say, Anand,
Great.
because you said the Hindutva part of the six. See, Gurus laid their life for cause of dharma. Let's not define it to Hindutva. It was a Hindu as a dharma, which was a bigger cause, not as an ideology. So
Correct.
let's keep that in mind. And sir, my person from the forces, sir, Gill Sahib did a good job in controlling Punjab. But yes, there were atrocities also committed. Thirdly, you can't let Congress off the hook, because reason is that whole of this affair started, the Khalistan affair started because Congress was in anguish with the Sikhs because of the emergency. Till 21st March 1977, the last Jatha came and courted arrest, 353 people courted arrest against emergency. And there was a feeling that with Sanjay Gandhi, and this on record, Sanjay Gandhi and Gani Jal Singh and Kamalat, they thought of dividing Punjab, and then which was again used by Pakistan for their objective. Give me a second, another 5 seconds. So my humble request to the Aam Aadmi party is, don't become tool as Congress became a tool, or they allowed them, their administration, their police, their political objectives to be used by ISI.
My question, or my humbly to all my panelists and to all our guests here, the aspect or to bring in different political parties is not to do a crossfire that you did it, because for both parties, sir, three fingers are pointing back at you. Moment you point one finger at the other, three fingers are pointing back at you. So that is a reality, and nobody can cover themselves in glory here. Let us understand that this is what they want. They will want to divide and rule. They will want to create fissures and capitalize on it. I'm going to, Ramneek Man put his hand up.
Can I respond for 10
So
seconds?
I'm just saying, you made a lot of allegations. He's made allegations. I'm not even getting into the worth, right of the allegations. If they are there, they should be looked upon, and everybody needs to introspect.
Anandji, 10 seconds to respond.
Let's move up from there. I'll give you
10 seconds to
I'll give you
respond.
10 seconds. General Pandey has put his hand up. Ramneek Man has put his hand up. So 10 seconds, Anmol. Yes, please.
Specific allegations have been leveled against Aam Aadmi Party that we received funds from Khalistani forces. Let me make it very clear. Any allegation should have a basis. Jagdish Sharma versus Union of India and others, I'll quote the citation, 2022 Live Law Delhi 211. The Delhi High Court bench led by the Honorable Chief Justice at that time, Acting Chief Justice, Justice Vipin Sanghi, they dismissed a petition which sought an inquiry against receiving funds by the Aam Aadmi Party from Khalistani elements. Let me quote it verbatim. A petition was filed seeking high-level inquiry against AAP and Arvind Kejriwal on the basis of false and fabricated allegations. And the Honorable Court said, while dismissing, imposed cost on the petitioner. उनके ऊपर फाइन लगाया गया था, वो petition dismiss की गई थी क्योंकि कोई तथ्य नहीं था.
Okay. No. Sir, I'll tell you.
Meeting Harjit Singh Bajwa.
Yeah.
Deny that.
There are no, one minute, again,
Who's Harjit Singh
we've
Bajwa?
crossed,
I have
we've crossed, we've crossed, we've crossed, one minute, sir. These allegations will fly thick and fast between
No allegation. I'm telling you what has happened. This
What I'm saying is, sir, there are pictures of a Congress chief minister who refused to meet someone in the delegation of Justin Trudeau because of his Khalistani antecedents. Just like there are pictures of Aam Aadmi Party leaders who went and broke bread with senior members of the WSO and Khalistani figureheads and fountainheads in Canada.
That's incorrect.
So these are there are pictures.
No basis for these
there are
allegations.
pictures.
There's no basis for these
pictures.
allegations.
That does not mean that they are Khalistani sympathizers or otherwise.
I have
What I'm
videos.
trying-
I have.
So,
I have
you are saying there are
BJP
videos,
leaders.
sir.
I have 3 videos of BJP leaders. They are
Correct. So now,
so
what I'm trying to tell you is, you quoted an incident in Madhya Pradesh to to equate the BJP sympathy with ISI. But there are cases in Punjab and with the Aam Aadmi Party which present these questions on whether or not are you really flirting with the dangerous. So what I'm trying to say, please, what I'm trying to, what I'm trying to say, sir, what I'm trying to say is, sir, we have to rise above this. We have to. This is collective. It is about our own astitwa as Bharat. And that's why I'm saying that this cannot
we are doing
become,
our bit, Anand
this
ji.
can,
We are doing
and I appreciate that, sir. And I appreciate that, sir. It is under the AAP government in Punjab that these arrests have been made, that these caches have been done. We've not said that they are not being made, but they are there. This threat remains. Let's not say no to that. There is also a cleanup required
we
for
know
the
how to deal with that.
there is a cleanup required of the there is a cleanup of the sympathizers also required. That has not happened. There is a cleanup of the funders also required. Those are the pictures. Now Sardar RP Singh will put out the pictures. Those pictures exist. I'm not saying no. Let's move on because there are some questions that will come your way, both the BJP and the AAP in a bit. Now, key figures, just sharing this information and then going to General Pandey and Ramnik Man. Key figures like Gurpatwant Pannu have escalated their rhetoric, threatening events such as the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas and invoking terror tactics similar to the Hamas. From prison, Amritpal has announced the launch of political party pledging to declare Khalistan within a year if elected further, blurring the lines between secessionist ideology and democratic posturing. Now, 19 fake threats, the strategy of AI-generated deepfakes, later traced to SFJ's digital disruption campaigns, underscoring the new era of keyboard insurgency. Posters glorifying Bhindranwale calling for embassy attacks and AI-generated narratives about injustice against Sikhs continue to flood the diaspora and domestic spaces. So that's one part. Then, Indian agencies have responded with intensified crackdowns. In 2024, 66 terrorists were arrested, 12 active modules were neutralized, 1,099 kilograms of heroin was seized. The NIA blocked over 7,500 radical URLs, seized 73 crore from terror-linked scams. 1,095, and then look at this, 7,500 radical URLs that were blocked. And terror-linked scams, 73 crore were seized and invoked UAPA to target SFJ operatives, digital and financial assets. Courts have denied bail in key cases, signaling a firm judicial stance. So this is a clear and present danger. Going back to our panelists and General Pandey, there are questions that need to be asked all around. Is just nipping these pawns okay? The fountainhead, figureheads, those operating in the shadows, they have not been disclosed, and they are trying to spread this venom in society silently, and that's far more dangerous.
Yeah, so I will, Anand, not like to reel into the political debate and issues, because very unfortunate that time and again I see, or we as a common public see that our politicians get into the mudslinging and trying to produce evidences against each other rather than looking forward. Right. So I will not get into it. I'll just only talk of what is the challenge today. I'm coming today from Punjab. I just spent about 4-5 days visiting my soldiers and my friends in Punjab. Just like that, I did not know this debate will be happening. The key concerns which are happening and which we need to focus ahead, that there is a widening of fault lines taking place, right? There is and it is not based on only religion facet. There are other reasons which are taking place, and they are going to be exploited. I think government at state level or at the center level need to really look at it very, very seriously and see how that can be bridged. The second is the drug part. The drug, the way it is moving along the border areas and getting into the deeper state of Punjab is something which I am quite surprised at why none of the, every political establishment today has got outreach right till the ground level. Why can't we, because police has got that much level to do, they can't do beyond this thing. Why is this not being controlled? The drone drops, the smuggling and the spread. Everybody talks about it, the stock of the best people from our country came from possibly Haryana and Punjab, and possibly in South, this thing in terms of physical stuff and all. It is missing today, right? And it is just missing. The last part, which is something every time we talk to be reactive, we look into the past, this thing, what is today happening? That in the world which you just talked of is digital world. And the Gen Z and the younger millennial are going to see, read, follow what is available in the digital space. Which government of India portion is trying to contest, fight that space, or more importantly, trying to create space for its own narrative? By Ramneek Bhai Sahab is possibly one person who can, articulate, but his voice is limited. Which place, because, the what is turning out, AI generated images, mentions, talks, creating images of 80s and beyond and forward, is going to remain always available on the digital space. Today, you type something on the chat GPT or on the AI Grok, you get only negative stuff, right? So where is the infrastructure, our information warfare campaign, which needs to push back, not only push back, create adequate, correct narrative onto the space of digital space, that it resides for a longer period, right?
Correct.
The Canadians who are going and fighting this line which you said, I don't agree with Anand, that there are people who did find opportunities and therefore they have gone, right? It is not only issue of opportunity. Once they have gone to that place, do you think any of those Canadians or Australians who's talking about Khalistan is wanting to come back to India? There are different world and different places they are living.
Right.
Nobody wants to come back, right? So it is only a select portion of people, the larger majority which doesn't believe in the narrative of Khalistan keeps quiet.
Correct.
And when the majority
it's the
keeps
suffering.
quiet, the very, very fringe element takes space.
True, and point
it's
is,
suffering. It's
No,
suffering.
and the larger,
I'm talking of so many people.
but General Sahab, the larger majority are also worried for their own life and living, because they know that the moment they open their mouth, their daughters, their children, their wives, their mothers, they are also vilified on social media. It's a different world out there, and there is so much of social, pressurizing, bullying that happens. They don't even know where to hide. I know this UK couple. They came here to our studios, and even now they are running helter and skelter because their daughters' pictures have been put out by these kekoons because they decided to call them Khotistani and took them on. And look what they have gone through. They have no place to go because nobody is backing them, because no businessman wants to try and take panga because उनके दुकान तोड़ देंगे, customer को आएंगे तो वहाँ customer को डराना शुरू कर देंगे. These are all the soft things which are happening, and it's happening on ground in Bharat also quietly, and that's dangerous. Ramneek Man, the other thing, history, where is the education? Has it been changed? Where is the history before the 1980s? Has it been changed for this generation to learn? Is it being adapted into the Punjab boards? Is it being adapted into the central boards? All these questions are big questions to counter what is happening on ground. Machinated by the enemy. Ji.
Anand, before I get to your question, let me just take it forward from where you left. As a matter of fact, even the government is not promoting people who are pro-Bharat and anti-Khalistan. Let's be very clear on that. And while I try and stay away and stir away from making direct political statements, the amount which RP Singh Saab didn't refer to was $16 million that was quoted by Pannu. And when we discuss mollycoddling with the Khalistanis and terrorists, there is a guy called Gurinder Singh from Moga who hosted Arvind Kejriwal to his residence. He is a former Khalistan Commando Force terrorist and who has blood on his hands. So let's be very clear, so politicians on both sides would mollycoddle with the terrorist organizations and terrorists to their advantage. That is one. Two, so far as the BJP is concerned, the BJP has absorbed people from both sides. People who had been at one point in time promoting Khalistan or being very soft to Khalistanis, and on the other hand, getting people who are hardcore against Khalistanis and terrorism in Punjab. They have both people, the people from both sides.
Can
so
I come
there is
in,
I have to say about that. So far as Khalistani sympathizers are concerned, BJP is also mollycoddling with a few Dharam Pracharaks who have very strong pro-Khalistani stance. I can name a few, but I would, leave it for another day. So far as politicians are concerned, politicians will remain politicians, but the national interest, Bharat first, India first, nation first, should always reign in our minds. When we discuss very sensitive issues like Punjab and the Khalistan movement, which has claimed several lives, we should also understand that these Pakistani diplomats, they are a regular visitor to Khalistani Gurdwaras, whether it is in Surrey or Vancouver or other places. Also, second, people who support a beard, they tie a turban, and they are basically Pakistanis. They're trying to reflect themselves as Sikhs, and they are the ones primarily who are involved in kicking the footballs wrapped in Indian tricolor and burning the flags and raising anti-India slogans. So there is a whole campaign, and like General Saab said, there is I'm saying this with a very heavy heart, General Saab, but we don't have a IW to counter Khalistanis. There is no wing, there is nothing that is doing anything about it. As a matter of fact, on the other hand, the Pakistani ISI is funding not one but several YouTube channels. They are funding several influencers to create an entire negative India, negative Bharat footprint globally. There are videos, there are online articles which are available. What are we doing? We're doing nothing. And like General Saab said, a few years down the line, there is going to be zero trace. There's going to be very little trace, and I think like Rock will actually be promoting anti-India stuff very openly.
Right, I have limited time, but okay, 30 seconds. 10, and I'll count you down to this because I'm way over time. But this is something we're trying to bring this front and center here on the right stand, because the counter narrative has to be built. Political fights aside,
two generations have been radicalized. 2 generations, Anand.
We can't afford a third and a fourth and a fifth.
Haven't done anything about it.
For us, nation is paramount. The Punjab government is committed to permanently dismantle Khalistani networks.
No, I disagree. I disagree.
Okay, let him make his point.
No, Anand, Siddharth
this is not the way.
former DGP
This is not the way.
Okay.
Former DGP
This is not the way. Anandji,
Okay, let's not speak over each other. We may have differences, but if there is a commitment, if there,
I didn't interrupt.
I'm not. Okay. Ramnik ji, please. Yeah, I'm just saying we're all, everybody is passionate about.
Anyone who tries
Anand, I am very passionate about my state. I'm very passionate about Punjab.
Please, we don't have time. Ramnik ji, I don't have time. Ramnik ji, I don't have time. The idea was to make this conversation, bring it front and center.
There's no basis for the allegations which has been leveled against Aam Aadmi Party, but all our allegations have been backed by credible evidence.
Now I'll tell you what. Now
we have declared war against drug anti-narcotics task force.
Here's my request.
Tremendous job.
Okay, one minute, sir.
Just last 3 months, we have registered 10,000 FIRs. We have arrested 17,000.
Anmol, one minute. I'm not saying that there haven't been arrests. Neither is somebody saying that there haven't been crackdowns. If the arrests are happening, that means the state machine. But there cannot be a pat on the back or resting on laurels till the last ounce of chitta is off the streets. Off the ground.
99%
till the last amount
have been declared drug-free. 99% of the villages of Punjab.
What is
you
official?
You can visit. You can visit on the ground.
We'll do that. Here's now the next step. The correction of the narrative and also the revisionalism of history that is happening. That needs to be corrected. That needs to be reset, sir. It has to be done sooner than later. And that's what I'm trying to say. The enemy is continuously working. I mean, the enemy is not hitting the pause button. It is Bharat that hits the pause. That's hit the pause button. That's where.
I have 2 videos of BJP leaders sympathizing.
Sir, you'll put out 2 videos. BJP will put out another 10, and exactly that's what will happen. We will end up fighting with each other rather than fighting with the real enemy.
It's not about fighting.
And if anybody and everybody who's sympathizing has to be weeded out of the system. Anybody and everybody. I'm not taking position. My position is with Bharat, sir. Just like all of us should be. Not with one particular political party or a political leader or an identity. Our identity is with Bharat. I wear this flag with pride, not for show. And this is what I stand for. And I think that's what everybody stands for. So good. So let's work on that. Let's work towards that is what I'm trying to say. I've got to wind up on that note. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've got to wind up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Moving on, viewers. His journey from victim to political terror, victim of political terror to voice of resilience is that of an inspiration to the nation. Now, his legs hacked by the left supporters, CPIM cadre in 1994, a brutal political violence in Kerala. Here's an exclusive conversation with C. Sadanandan Master, or Marsha as he's known, the survivor, educator, a living martyr as hailed by the BJP and the RSS, who is now nominated by the Honorable President into the upper house. Let's go across to a person whose story is about grit, gumption, and also standing up to bullies, standing up to a certain ideology that would chop and kill and maim if you had a change of heart or a change of thought. He's just been nominated into the Rajya Sabha. C. Sadanandan Master joins us. Namaste, Sadanandan ji. Can you hear me? This is Anand Narasimhan here.
Namaste ji, I can hear you.
Marsha, if I may call you that, as you are very popularly known, you continue to teach, but your story has been something which is spoken about at length. Can you tell us what you felt first up when you realized you'd be nominated to the upper house?
Okay, our beloved Prime Minister Modi ji called me 4 days before, and he told me he's giving us a special mission. With bowing my head, I received it, and I accepted his mission as our member of Rajya Sabha. First of all, I would like to say that this is the mission given by our Prime Minister, so I have to perform this very much with a sacrifice mode and with a dedicated mindset.
Right.
I will work for my state, for my district, and my country as a whole. I would like to work very much by using this membership of Rajya Sabha. That is the thing first I want to say.
Here, the Prime Minister said he is giving you a mission. Did he explain the mission? What is it
Yes.
that he expects from you?
Yes, he used this particular word, mission. It has great meanings.
So how do you interpret the mission? Has he explained the mission to you, or do you know what you're supposed to do?
Okay.
Can you share that with us?
Yes, Prime Minister has a dream. Okay, Prime Minister has a dream, as all we are knowing, that Vikasit Bharat, his concept. Vikasit Bharat means the overall development of our country. For this, achieving this goal, every state and every district, every people, all over our country, our 146 million people are there in our country. The development of every field, development in every field is necessary for that. Fulfilling this, our aim, the mission is needed. That mission given by Modi ji is defined like this.
How do you
overall development?
So the focus is on development, but if you look back on the long road that you have traversed, Marsha, how would you look?
Yes.
How would you look back at it? 1984.
Pardon?
1984, when you were 30 years old, something happened with you on the streets of Kerala. And that was because you decided...
Not in 1984, it was in 1994.
1994.
Yes.
What happened there, sir, at that time? Who were those people?
Okay, that time I bear the responsibility as District Joint Secretary of RSS, District Sahakariwa. Our term is that. District Sahakariwa. I was that time. That particular day, I was a teacher. After school time, I went to my uncle's house for discussing some matter about the fixed marriage of my sister. I went there and I returned from there near about 8 p.m. in night. On the way of my return to my home, I caught a bus and I get down from bus in a particular bus stop named Uruvachal. That time, these culprits, the goons appointed by the CPIM leadership, they caught me and put me down on the road and chopped both.
You said they chopped both your legs. Did you know these
Yes.
people? You said they were CPIM goons. But you are from a
Yes,
communist
I could-
family, aren't you? You were a communist leader in
Formerly,
college
yes,
days.
yes. Yes. My father was a communist cadre that time, but he was no more that time. He and my elder brother, he was also a CPM activist. He was the village office bearer of the youth organization KSYF that time. And myself also, up to my pre-degree years, myself also linked with the SFI activities. After that, during my degree years, I joined RSS.
Why did they then attack you? In your degree years, you joined RSS. A decade later, why did they attack you?
Because of political rivalry that is already prevailed in our places. The CPI, the Kannur district is commonly known as the citadel of communist movement, and because of this kind of mindset, they are not to tolerate other parties' work and other ideas. That is the common situation. That was the common situation in Kannur that time, but the situation is it is changing. But that time, it was the situation. Because of this kind of mindset created by their leaders among their followers, they began to attack other political workers and other political parties, etc., etc. That activities was going on that time, that period. And so many other incidents were happened in my village and my district, etc.
Well, Marsha, we wish you all the very, very best in your tenure as Rajya Sabha MP. Thank you for speaking with us. Let's quickly move on. We've got another special guest on this edition of The Right Stand, and this matters to all of us because we must know what we eat. Label Padega India is a campaign that was mooted by our next guest. He's a nutrition influencer. He gave up a very, very cushy job, educated abroad, working in Bharat now. He left everything and then he's back here and he's been campaigning. If the government and the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has now issued this advisory that we need to watch what we eat and there should be proper labeling and there should be an awareness created about foods, processed, packed, otherwise, about what we are consuming, the amount of oil, amount of sugar, amount of salt, then it is for our benefit because Bharat's obesity index is on the rise. And if we continue on this path, nearly 45 crore of Bharatiya by 2050 will be obese. And it's not just in urban India, across the country. Let's go across to Revant Himansinka, who's now with us. Revant, namaste. Well,
how are you doing? Thank you so much for having me.
No, and thank you for continuing to stay on this path. When others thought, oh, what is this guy doing? And you went on a campaign. Today, the government is saying, label Padega India.
No, means a lot. I really appreciate the support of the government. And yes, I am on this path and I'm going to continue to fight.
What is this? Can you explain to our viewers? There was a lot of confusion about samosa and jalebi being unfairly targeted. The PIB has clarified that it's not against any particular snack or any food, but it's overall awareness about what is going into our food and what is going into our system.
Yes, so about a year ago, I started a sugar board movement, and about 2 months ago, I started an oil board movement. Both these movements were essentially just a pictorial representative of how much sugar and how much oil is there in our regular day-to-day foods, whether it's our packaged food or whether it's a day-to-day samosa or kachori. It's just a pictorial representative. And this was supposed to be an encouragement to the government that can we add a chart like this in every single school. That imagine if every student was seeing this board every day when they enter the school. That was my idea about oil board and sugar board. Now the government did a very great job. Not only did CBSE and ICSE implement it in all CBSE and ICSE schools, but also the government announced that all government offices and hospitals should also have this sugar board and oil board depicting how much oil and sugar is there in our day-to-day foods. Now this unfortunately got misinterpreted that it's a warning label for samosa and jalebi specifically, which it was not. That was just some, rumor or misinformation. However, it is a very positive step taken by the government to make India rethink what they are eating, because of all these health issues.
Now, the Supreme Court had also issued a directive about a month back. Milind Deora has highlighted that the FSSAI has actually sought more time because the court directed the FSSAI to start putting color-coded labels on everything. So that people can identify. Now, I am aware that such things happen in other countries, like outlets like Starbucks. I'm just taking their name, but even other branded outlets, like in Singapore, have to mark every single product of theirs to highlight how much of sugar they have, or how much of calorie content, not just calories mentioned, but sugar, trans fat, or whatever. Is that possible in our country?
It is definitely possible, and in fact, I think it's the most effective way to reduce obesity and increase health literacy in India. It is the cheapest and most effective way. So, for example, Anand, I'll give you, there are two options we have. One is build thousands and thousands of hospitals, and the other is to promote health education and to make sure that the Indians who are consuming any packaged food, we are knowing what we are consuming. So once again, the example you used of Singapore, when every packaged food has a rating A, B, C, D. And if it has more than 10% added sugar, it's rated D in the packaged food very clearly. So even if you're not a nutritionist, you pick up the food, you know it's unhealthy. And if it's rated D, it's not allowed to be advertised in any TV or any newspaper. So imagine it's like a very easy way where millions of people are eating healthier. So same thing definitely can get implemented in India. It's unfortunately taking more time than required. So there has been like pushback and delays from.
But how is it that the same corporates who have a different packaging, say abroad in another country, have a different packaging here? So is the product mix also different?
Yes, there are multiple reasons. One is regulation. That regulation often in European countries and Singapore and Australia are more strict than some of our regulations here. Secondly, it's also the pricing. Unfortunately, we cannot hide behind the fact that India is a price-conscious country. And if we were to put very premium ingredients, a large part of India would not be able to afford it. So pricing is also one of the reasons why this happens. That many companies put cheaper quality ingredients in India compared to other countries. And the third is the lack of awareness, which I'm trying to fight against a lot, that even if hypothetically a company was putting better quality ingredients, people just don't know about it. There's no willingness to pay as a result. Because if you don't even know the difference between two different ingredients, then you won't pay for it. So now people are thankfully getting more aware. Regulations are slowly getting stricter. And unfortunately, the price point is still difficult to solve. But I think these are the 2-3 reasons why this difference exists between the quality of products abroad versus India.
So are you also on that board which says, or in that group which says, stop eating samosa and stop eating jalebi? Or is there a way? Is there a better way that we can actually indulge, we can actually have it, but what are we supposed to look out for? So is having a samosa or French fries, which is better, which has more salt, which has more calories? How do I know all of this? Or should I have samosa or French fries at all? These are all questions everybody will ask. यार समोसा बंद करा दोगे, आप जलेबी नहीं खिला रहे हो, ऐसे कैसे हो सकता है? This is ऐसी तो हम खिलाते पिलाते हैं. That's what everybody talks, right? That's how way of life here is in Bharat. खिलाना पिलाना.
हाँ नहीं, मैं तो I always say कि आप you have samosa, you have French fries, just be avid in moderation. Count your calories for at least 1 week in your life. 1 week, count your calories so that you have some idea of how much you're eating. Approximately, males need around 2,000 to 2,500 calories. Females also need around 2,000 calories. Many Indians are consuming 3,000 calories plus every single day. So just for 1 week, count your calories so that you understand approximately what ballpark you're in. And if you're in a lesser ballpark, maybe you can have samosa every day as well.
How many grams of sugar in a day?
It's around 6 teaspoons of added sugar per day we are allowed. Like that's a limit. That's not to be obviously less the better.
Now this teaspoon is a chota wala teaspoon or bada wala teaspoon. See, these are all the problems.
Teaspoon is chota wala, tablespoon is bada wala.
Okay, the teaspoon is so 6 teaspoons of sugar. That's what we should have. All foods,
maximum.
all foods put together. It's not just the 6 teaspoons of sugar, but it is its inclusion in all the different kinds of food.
Exactly. It's not just the chai, which many people confuse. It's everything combined. The ketchup and the chutneys and everything combined.
केचप में कहाँ से शुगर होता है भाई? केचप में भी शुगर होता है?
केचप में केवल शुगर ही होता है और कुछ नहीं है. थोड़ा सा टमाटो है, ज्यादातर शुगर ही होता है.
ये देखो, ये सब सीखना पड़ेगा. The point is that label पड़ेगा तभी समझेगा India. That's right. We need to know what we eat. Revant, always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for staying on and continue motoring on. And you need to take this message across to the current generation. जो हमारा है, हमारे बाद वाले तो फिर भी कुछ स्कोप है, हमारा तो पता नहीं कितने गए हैं. But at least the school, colleges today and what they are consuming, I think that awareness needs to go up. The sugar board seems to be a fantastic idea. Let's hope the government is as serious and as committed as you are. Thank you very much. Thank you. On that note, with this humble request, know what you eat, see what you eat, and more importantly, for at least a week, count how many calories you're getting in. And perhaps it's a start for a healthier life going ahead. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Co-presented by. This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
I'm Shubhanshu Shukla. I'm the mission pilot for Axiom 4 mission. And I think it is great to be in space. It was kind of a cycle. I would say initially 1 or 2 days was not so good. You were kind of adjusting to microgravity, but after that, it grows on you every day. And the longer you stay, the more you like it. And it is so much of fun being here, looking back at the Earth and just enjoying all the different settings and environment of space.
Hi, it's Tibor, and it's really nice to talk to you. It has been so much fun, as Shuk said. We started right with the launch, which was, I think, the best 8.5 minutes of our lives. I could do it any day, that's for sure. And ever since we have been here, we had the warmest welcome from the crew that has been up here already. And in the past 2 weeks, we have been conducting so much research and so much science, which has been actually the biggest fun. In fact, I was almost late from this conversation because I had a physics experiment right before this, but Peggy would have been really mad at me. So try to make sure I'm here.
Tell us about some of the research that you will be doing and what would be groundbreaking about it, in your opinion?
I represent Poland and the European Space Agency as well, and Europe. Polish companies and universities and science institutes have for the first time the opportunity to conduct science on the ISS. Together with ESA, we prepared a big scientific complement for the mission, and this is the main focus: science and technology demonstrators. We've been one of the most exciting experiments that we prepared from the Polish side was, for example, we demonstrated the first brain-machine interface in space that was for the first time ever done. So a direct measurement from the human brain and then interpreted by the computer to perform certain actions. So this is one, but also the scientific complement is a big variety. We have experiments on nanotechnology, on science. Yeah, of course. Here you go.
Swap can talk a lot about science, so. But we all love it. I'm also a science geek, and I think one of the new investigations that we're trying on this mission, Axiom 4, is looking to make it possible for diabetics to fly in space in the future. We're testing out hardware and equipment and the capabilities that would keep someone with diabetes safe up in space. Of course, my favorite is actually the cancer study where we're testing a couple of drugs to see if we can stop triple-negative breast cancer from replicating, and it's got some very exciting results.
Tibor, you're only the second astronaut from your country. There's a lot of pressure on you. They'll be expecting some of those experiments on Earth as well. But how important is it then for your country?
It is extremely important, and as you mentioned, I'm not the only one as a second national astronaut, but also Shukla and Swav representing the same kind of class as well. We have been the seconds from our countries as national selected astronauts, and all these countries have been waiting 40 years to come back to space as a former astronaut. It's a huge responsibility, but also a huge privilege on us. Now that we have been doing this mission, it's actually a new access for us to space.
Captain, I want to ask you, this mission is so important to your country, India. What are your thoughts on the recent news that the Gaganyaan mission has been postponed until 2027? Are you still hopeful that more can be done with this mission in terms of testing in this calendar year?
Yes, Paula, I think, first of all, this mission comes at a very crucial time for us, and I think it is very aptly placed.
Good evening, you're watching Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. Indian astronaut group captain Shubhanshu Shukla has returned safely to Earth after spending 18 days at the International Space Station. Shortly before 3 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Shubhanshu and 3 of his colleagues from the Axiom 4 mission that was attached to the International Space Station, they splashed down just off the coast of California. Shubhanshu is said to be fit and fine. He will be in quarantine for the next few days, and he will likely head back home in about a month's time. Now, the critical thing is he becomes just the second Indian after Rakesh Sharma, and that was 40 years